Hello everybody, my name is Bo and welcome to my midlife crisis video. Jokes aside, whilst I have your attention though, I would like to take you on a little adventure. An adventure that could possibly change your life. Before we get started, I just need to make a quick...
there you go, much better. You got to love technology. So where were we? Yes. So hi everybody, my name is Bo and I'm officially weird. Not as in weirdo weird, although a lot of my friends would dispute that. No, my family and I officially belong, like 1/8 of the world's population, to the so-called weird tribe. Western, educated, industrial, rich and democratic. And to be more precise, my family and I are really weird. White, Western, educated, industrial, rich and democratic. And as with many tribes around the world, we hold our own story and values. And when the time comes, we should pass them on to the next generation as they transition into adulthood. As I was about to launch into my very own kids' rites of passage chapter, it wasn't a good moment.
2020 will be the hottest or second hottest year on record. As the planet's fever rose, the world came down with COVID-19. In 2020, wildfires set records from California to Siberia. The coronavirus pandemic emptied streets and grounded air travel.
It was a real back to the drawing board moment for me, as our existing weird tribal story was clearly flawed and needed re-examining. It also became clear to me that my kids, besides teenage guidance, actually needed coping strategies. Actually, we all are in need of them. So I spent the last year scouring the planet, drowned myself in literature, podcasts, spoke to experts and visionaries. I left no stone unturned. I even embraced wisdoms from fortune tellers and spent weeks living with a Nordic shaman. And today, I would like to share one of my discoveries. As we know, everything in life has a beginning and an end. And I found that our weird tribe, pretty much like my children, were amidst their transition period. And for things to transition and change, the old has to make way for the new. And these periods can express themselves very aggressively, literally breaking down the old walls to make room for the new. During my research, it has become very clear to me that we are transitioning out of a hyper-patriarchal world that has deeply formed us for the last 6,000 years. An era characterized by fierce masculine energy that expressed itself through aggression, control, and ownership, which translated into us building empires on the back of the slave trade, mass religious conversions, industrialization, scientific enlightenment, wars, and getting us to the moon and back. Ultimately, getting us to the civilization that we live in today. But as with anything extreme in life, it comes at a price. You see, in order to own and control something, you need to separate yourself from it. Over the thousands of years of patriarchy, we managed to separate humans from nature, separate us from the animals, we separated by race, we separated men from women, we separated by age, education, income, sexuality, political views. We have even separated me from we, where the needs of the individual is more important than that of the group. And the scariest new frontier is attacking the last sacred bastion where we are separating mind from body. Chasing the relentless hockey stick of growth, the newest business frontier of our commodity and consumption-based economy has moved on from preying on our disposable income to harvesting our disposable time. We are all stuck behind devices that hunt for our attention in exchange for cheap and quick dopamine kicks. Our brains are literally circumnavigating its keeper, the body, and is plugging straight into the www in the search for joy. It's time to wake the up and break this cycle of separation and control. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you're watching this. As I said earlier, there's good news. As with any pendulum, once it has reached its most extreme level, it starts to swing back. And after 6,000 years of patriarchal ownership and control, we have started to swing into a world showing signs of collaborative structures with more of a collective thought process at a truly global scale. But the time isn't on our side, and we all need to pull up our socks to help the pendulum swing even faster. Not only to expedite the building of a society that reflects our truly global connectivity, but also to rescue the planet. Reconnecting what has been separated over the last 1,000 of years is at the core of this transition. So the time has come for us to proactively start putting the puzzle back together again, at an individual level. The old patriarchal system has taught us that change must come from the top. But that's not the case here. It comes from within. It comes from you. There is already a multi-million-dollar industry out there trying to reconnect the mind back to the body. Even schools and workplaces are introducing mindful and mental health strategies in the desperate attempts to slow the explosion of loneliness, depression, and anxiety. Many techniques offered seem overly simplistic and obvious, yet they are practices that have been known for eons, but yet have been truly forgotten. I spent most of my time with the Nordic shaman breathing, the simplest way of reconnecting your mind back to your body, especially the gut, rediscovering the ancient teachings that we still reference today to honor your gut feeling. The shaman couldn't stress enough how important breathing to the belly is, as a way to connecting back to yourself and to truly come home. It can be seen like your mind being the canopy of a tree, whilst your guts are the roots that nourish it. And being truly in both in mind and body will result in you being able to bear the fruits of joy in your heart and soul. But in this video, I want to focus on something further than the mind, body, and heart connection. Something that comes totally naturally to us, yet we've stopped investing in it. And what excites me the most about it is that it has the potential to be the bedrock for deep systemic change during this time of transition. We are all very aware that humans as a species are innately a social creature. Otherwise, social distancing, or even worse, solitary confinement, wouldn't be used as a form of discipline and torture. But what really struck me was a study conducted by the anthropologist Robin Dunbar, who found a correlation between the primate brain size and their social group size, and then applying that data to the next closest relative, the human. He found that we, in the weird tribe, comfortably maintain 150 stable relationships. Of course, for some it might only be 100, and others who are more extroverted it can be as high as 250. How did he measure a stable relationship? Well, by the following filter. You not feeling embarrassed about joining for an impromptu drink if you happen to bump into that individual at a bar. Of course, social media tells us that we can have a huge number of acquaintances, but biologically, the level of intimacy drops vastly after this magical 150. According to Dunbar, this rule of 150 remains true for early hunter-gatherer societies, as well as a surprising array of modern groupings, offices, communes, factories, residential campsites, military organizations, even Christmas cards lists don't seem to exceed 150. Knowing that group living is a part of our evolution and our biology has given it a precise finite number, we should really start treating them as an innate, quantifiable extension of a physical body. It's not too dissimilar to our new understanding how the roots of trees form a wide web of connection, the absolute bedrock of any forest ecosystem. So if they are so important to us, we need to know who's in our forest. It is specifically here that we as a weird tribe have really unlearned our ways, which for me is mind-boggling, as it's part of our innate biology, can be our biggest resource, and it's free of charge. So who are your 150? First up, the clan, your lineage. These are your blood relatives, old friends, old school friends, university friends. These people deeply formed you as you were growing up and have left deep imprints in your current character. The clan members are very close to you and will stay with you until the day you die. The second group I call the Horde, your transactional tribe. These are the people that you interact with on a weekly basis to make life happen in the here and now. This can be in a professional or private capacity. These can be colleagues, neighbors, parents of your kids' friends, or even your hairdresser or the bartender at your local. This is the tribe where there can be a lot of transition and many will exchange over the years. The third and more loose group are the muses. These are the people you seek out for extracurricular activities and inspiration. These can come in the form of hobbies, fitness, specific interests that pop up, or areas of personal growth. Or it can be because you like how a certain person perceives the world and you cherish their advice. These are the people you don't find naturally in your clan or horde, so you go out of your way to spend time with them. Now, it goes without saying that these people can drift between the three groups or leave entirely. Everybody moves on a spectrum, and there is a trend that muses become horde members, who then have the potential over the years to become clan members. Pay attention to your top 5 in each category. These represent the trees that stand the closest to you in your forest, with whom you have the deepest connection and give you the deepest sense of purpose and joy. And they need to be celebrated as such, especially during these challenging times. So listen, everybody. Do me this favor. Connect to your inner tree and the forest that surrounds it. Start the process of reconnecting that what has been separated. As a together, we are in a much stronger position to face the more challenging problems that lie ahead of us. Start today. It can be as simple as forwarding this video to your closest people. Be the change you want to see in the world.